Joining us on the line right now is Dan Storck, who represents the Mount Vernon District over in Fairfax County, serves on the Fairfax County Board of Supervisors. Good morning to you, Mr. Storck. How are you?
Good morning. I'm doing well.
We want to talk to you because, yesterday we picked up this topic about some people over in the Mount Vernon area are complaining. They're complaining about all the noise coming from, amazingly, airplanes that fly in and out of National Airport. And we sort of, at least I took the position, hey, that airport's been there since 1941. Why is all this complaining going on? So why is it an issue now? And why are you pushing to have them do something about it?
Well, I think there's a couple of reasons. One is that for many years we all did experience incredible airplane noise. And as a result, in the 90s and early 2000s, that resulted in the Washington Airport Authority and airplanes leaving and the FAA agreeing to increase the flight path so it went down 10 miles downriver. That was an agreement that everybody reached. It was been satisfactory for the residents here for many, many years. And then all of a sudden we're getting a lot more airplane noise lately. And that's probably a function of two things. One is, as we all know, Nashville's getting a lot busier, which is good for all of us. But the bad news is that they've changed the way the planes are routed when they fly south out of the airport. So they're no longer going down 10 miles or maybe 5 miles or something far less than that. And so they're flying over neighborhoods that are heavily populated that, frankly, haven't experienced that same level of noise for almost a decade.
And so you're hearing a lot of complaints, is that right?
Yes, sir. We've got a number of neighborhoods. I live in one of the neighborhoods that also hears the airplane noise fairly regularly. We have a community called Villamay that's got a petition, and they've had a lot of involvement with the community association to try to get the recognition of the FAA and our congressman to try to address this.
Is it really a lot of complaints? Or, I read this report that one single person filed some 6,500 complaints. Is it just a few people, or is it a lot of people, really?
Well, I think you know how this goes. We all hear it, we experience it, we're frustrated about it, but we don't necessarily take the time to call and call FAA or call MWA and complain about it specifically. But it's there, it's a part of our lives every day, and particularly as we head into the time where we're opening our windows, we're sitting out on that patio, grilling out and enjoying our houses that we've spent a lot of money to maintain and enjoy, and we hear airplanes that take away our ability to talk to the person sitting next to us.
Listen, I am somewhat sympathetic to the idea that people have bought their houses under the understanding that the flight patterns were a certain way, and now the flight patterns have been changed and they're crying foul. I get that, and it affects their resale value, lots of different issues here. But listen, let's get real about this. The FAA says, and the air traffic controllers say, that the new flight patterns have to do with safety. It has to do with safety and efficiency, and this is the best route for these planes to take. And the airport isn't going anywhere. So what exactly are you hoping to achieve? Do you want to sacrifice safety for the sake of the noise of the homeowners?
So you're trying to say that it's less safe to fly 5 miles out than it is to fly 10 miles out, or that what the position is for down south is different from what's north? My understanding is that up north they continue that same flight pattern.
It's not what I'm saying. So you're saying the FAA is wrong?
I'm just saying that what we've experienced and what we understand, and nobody's communicated different to us. So at a minimum, if you think something's changed, wouldn't you involve the community? Wouldn't that be the American thing to do, to involve people, talk with them about it, share with them what the concerns are and why things are different? Those conversations, those engagements have not taken place. That's wrong.
So they have not given any reason why, because I researched it, and my understanding from what I've read in news reports is that when they changed the flight patterns, it was in 2014, it was like a year and a half ago, they did it because this was the safest route based on the new air traffic control system.
Well, they've not engaged our community at all, and that's something that did take place 10 years ago after many, many years, decades, if you will, of complaints.
What?
And then they changed something what was already agreed to.
What does engage the community mean exactly?
Right.
What do you mean exactly by engage the community? You mean you want them to come out and be part of a town hall meeting, or do you want them to make some sort of payment or recompense for this? What do you mean by engage the community?
Well, when you have a problem, what do? You sit down with somebody, you talk with them about them, or if you have a change from what you've agreed to previously, you sit down and you talk with them. You explain what your position is, the community explains, and others explain why it's not the way they want it to be, and then you see if you can work something out that's mutually agreeable, or at least return to the previous agreement until you have something that's mutually agreeable.
Mutually
and
agreeable.
That's not happening.
All right.
All right.
That sounds like there's some sort of negotiation here, and you're trying to get something from the airport or from the FAA.
We're trying to be treated the same way as they treat the flights going north. We want them treated the same way as they're going south, and we want them to honor what they had agreed to 10 years ago.
All right,
I think that's fair, don't you?
Well,
it
depends. It depends on safety issues,
yeah,
certainly.
Yeah, well, listen, I appreciate you coming in. We wanted to give the other side a fair chance to hear, because that's what we do here on Mornings with Them All. Thank you, Fairfax County Supervisor Dan Storck.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on this one for sure.